it's Tanoa. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm about to get ready and go visit my friend. I'm gonna surprise her. She doesn't know I'm coming, so I'm just gonna do a little something. And I thought, why not talk about this, because this is something that's always like been on my mind, and it's something that I've I feel like anyone at any point of their lives has like struggled with, with this topic at some point of their lives. So why not share my take on it, and just like give you guys some advice on like what I did and like what my thought processes were to kind of just like overcome it. And I'm like being very cryptic right now. It's confidence, okay? Like self-confidence and self-love and anything related to that topic. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be talking about. And I'm also gonna be doing my makeup a little bit because I want to look good for her, just in case we end up going out. But anyways, without further ado, just gonna go ahead and get started. Just dive right in. And honestly, for like my makeup looks, I really don't be doing like too much, as you're gonna see. Like I really just do like a little quick 1-2 and then that's it. So yeah, before I even start, I'm just gonna put a little bit of this on. I use this, I don't know if anybody else uses it, but I use this to moisturize my lips. It just works wonders. And it leaves my lips so soft. I just love it. But I feel like this topic is like something that's always gonna be talked about, because who hasn't at like some point in their lives, dealt with like insecurities or like a low self-esteem. Like I know I have. I'm not perfect. I definitely have in the past. And even like I feel like confidence in general, it can be like a daily struggle, a daily task. It's not something that once you get it, you master it, because that's not realistic. Honestly, one of the main things I would say to someone who's dealing with like low confidence or low self-esteem is to engage in self-affirmation. Because when you think about it, we could be real mean to ourselves sometimes, and it's like low-key ridiculous, because the way we be talking to ourselves, we wouldn't ever dare talking to like one of our friends or families or loved ones that way. And so it's just kind of like ridiculous how like mean and condescending we can be to ourselves. Like the being that we're with 24/7 is the being that we're often the meanest to. And it's just like it just doesn't make sense, but it's the reality of like what we do and like how we engage and treat ourselves sometimes. So like I feel like changing the way that you talk to yourself, talk to and about yourself is just a life changer, because it just goes back to respect. Because would you ever dare to like disrespect someone you love? No. I just feel like it's so important to affirm ourselves and have nice conversations with ourselves. Like when you wake up in the morning, just be like, hey beautiful. If you see yourself in the mirror, just be like, dang, I look good. If and if a negative thought comes to mind, just like learn to just cancel it out. Like just think of all the other things that you love about yourself. And even if you don't love a lot of things about yourself, pick one thing. There has to be one thing, whether it be your eyes, your lips, your smile, your skin color, your hair, your eyebrows, your fingernails. There has to be one thing that you like about yourself. And when a negative thought comes to mind, just be like, well, at least I have nice fingernails, at least I have nice ears. I love that about myself. And eventually when you get in the habit of just canceling out those negative thoughts, they're gonna be fewer and lesser each time, And obviously it's not gonna happen in, let's say, a day or a week or even a month sometimes. It takes time, and that's why it's important to be consistent with how you talk to yourself, how you talk about yourself, and how you think of yourself. I feel like affirmation is just something that could take you really far, because once you change your mindset, it starts changing everything else. Period. I feel like I'm low-key messing up my eyebrows, but that's what concealer's for. This is the concealer that I use because I really just need it for my eyebrows, and that's it. Are they twins? Do they look good? And then I just go over and use this e.l.f. What is this? I just go over and use this e.l.f. Clear mascara brow thingy. I don't even know what it's called, to be honest. I just use it to just brush it and keep it in place throughout the day, and that is it. That is all I do for my eyebrows. It took me a long time to learn how to do my eyebrows too. It took me a long time, but I eventually got to where I have a way of doing it that I like and it's consistent. So yeah. Okay, and then for foundation, I'm just gonna use the Fenty in the color 440. It's a little too dark for me, but that's why I use this, which is a little too the Il Maquillage, which is in the shade 170. I just mix both of them together because this is a little too dark for me, and then this is a little too like light and orangey for me, but when I mix it, it looks good enough for me. So that's what I'll be using. The next thing I would say, and this is a big one, especially in today's day and age, follow social media users who look like you. Because let's face it, social media is fake. People only show you what they want to show you. They hide the bad and show the good. So I would definitely say to follow people who look like you on social media. You may never come to look like some of the people that you follow, and if you do, like, good for you if that's what you're like after, and if that's what you want, because realistically it may take time for you to get to that point to look like those who you admire on social media. And one important thing to realize is the devil is a liar. The devil is a liar, and he will literally try his hardest to tell you that you are not beautiful, or that you don't compare. First of all, you don't, because you are unique, you are beautiful, and you are you are beautiful in your own way, just like everybody else is beautiful. No one individual looks like another individual, so keep that in mind. You have your own type of beauty, so don't litter your social media, for example Instagram, with individuals who you envy. Like, sure, you can use it as like motivation to achieve goals, but it can also just like be a breeding ground for negativity, because you'll only end up comparing yourself to those individuals each and every day. And I feel like in today's day and age, we're seeing a lot more diversity on social media, period. So I would say to like definitely follow individuals who look like you, who resemble you, who have the same mindset as you, who have goals that you admire and would want to embrace. So definitely engage in those type of content, because it's just over a lot more healthy and beneficial for you in the end. Especially if you're going on social media each and every day, or each and every hour of the day. You might as well have people on there who are positive influences on your life. How is this looking? It's looking good. I'm not the best at makeup, so I'm just really hoping that this looks good and I don't look like a total tree monster. Another really good point is to change what you can and embrace what you can't. So what I mean by that is, if you have certain things about yourself that you're like insecure about, one, you can, this kind of in a way goes back to like the previous point of following social media users who resemble you. So for this, it would be basically changing your feed. You know, you have that ability to change your feed, to remove those individuals off your social media who negatively impact you mentally. And this doesn't always have to be like a mental change either. It can be physical change. For example, for me, there are certain things about myself that I was insecure about. For example, I was insecure about my teeth, and so I made that change and got braces. So that is basically what I mean by like changing what you can. And as far as changing and embracing what you can't, just learn to embrace it. And it kind of goes back on the affirmation, on the self-affirmations. Learn to embrace, and it's not easy. I don't want anyone to think that I'm saying this to make y'all think that it's an easy process, because trust me, it is far from easy to do that. But I definitely think that if you put in the work, to do these things and to achieve these changes that you want to make about yourself, it's possible. It's definitely possible, as long as you put in work to do so. Also, a quick note, I do not know how to put my own lashes on, so I'm only gonna use mascara. I use this Scandalous Eyes from Rimmel London, and the Falsies Lash Lift from Maybelline, New York. If you can see that, it's kind of dirty to be honest, but that's what I use. So this next point is something that I hold very dear and close to my heart. And it's not something that's gonna be applicable to everyone, because not everyone is a Christian or believes in God, obviously. But it's something that really helped me in my journey of like self-confidence and self-love. And it's to basically read the word. Honestly, read the word and just talk to God. That's what he's here for, is to support you in your walk with him, and to support you in this walk, in this really hard life. I feel like if you take the time and spend it in ways that you're trying to build your relationship with God, you're eventually going to see the brighter side of things. Because now that you may not know this, but you eventually start to believe the words of the Bible for yourself. You may believe them for other people, but until you start believing them for yourself, you're not really utilizing it correctly in a way. Because the Bible is meant to show us the everlasting love of God. When you read the Bible, you begin to see just why God loves you so much, and why he takes his time to cater to your needs and just be there for you. I feel like the Bible really helps to just to show and just affirm to me that God created all his children in beautiful ways. I am not the same as like my sister. I'm not the same as my friend. I'm not the same as my neighbor. I'm not the same as the person across the street from me, because God created me in my own beautiful way, in my own beautiful light. And so just reading the Bible, I always just find comfort in just knowing this. And there is certain verses and just stories in the Bible that just helps to solidify this thought for me. Just knowing that God's love for me and God's love for you is unconditional. So it's like, even though I'm at a point in my life where I don't feel the best, where I don't feel the most beautiful, where I don't feel loved, you know who does love me at the end of the day throughout all of this? God. He will always just find the beauty in me and love me no matter what my size is, no matter how I view myself, and no matter how ugly I may speak to myself or think about myself. He will always just be there for me, to support me, and just to show me the grace that I'm not showing myself. So once you start reading the Bible and just writing down what you understood from that passage, from that verse, from that word, you start to realize and identify with who God created you to be, who you are, outside of all these negative thoughts, outside of this low confidence, outside of this low self-esteem. You start to just love yourself. So all in all, just be kind to yourself and realize that you are not alone in this. There are other people around you who may be dealing with the same thing. So just having conversation with a friend or a loved one or just someone you trust can help to reassure your feelings, because they are valid. And again, it may not happen overnight. It may take days, weeks, months, or even years for some people to get to a point where they feel confident again in their bodies. So just take it one day at a time. Don't try to rush the process, because at the end of the day, it's a journey and you can learn various other lessons throughout that journey. So take it one day at a time, breathe, take care of yourself, and just try to get to a place where you're able to support yourself, because that is ultimately what matters. Last but not least, I'm just gonna spray a little bit of this. This is the matte. This is the Fix Plus Matte Setting Spray from MAC. And honestly, I've been using this even when I don't have makeup on, because it just works wonders, because I have really oily skin, and so this just helps to mattify my whole face and let it last at least a couple hours in the day before it starts getting very oily. I'm just gonna I hate doing that. But it dries really fast, which is what I like about it. But yeah, you guys, this is it for this video. As you can see, my makeup routine is it's like the most basic thing ever. It's like the most basic and easy thing for me to do as someone who's not really that into makeup. But yeah, make sure you like and leave me a comment down below if you want to see more content like this from me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.